Hello boys and girls, welcome to another language arts lesson. I'm your teacher, Mr. Jackson, and I hope that your week has been going well so far. In this session, we are learning to organize paragraphs to reflect cause and effect text structure. But what does all of this mean? It means that by the end of the lesson, you should be able to do these things. Number one, I can explain the characteristics or features of a cause and effect text structure. Number two, I can identify the cause and effect text structures based on their features or characteristics of the paragraph. Number three, I can use the signal questions and the signal words to help me to understand cause and effect text structure. Number four, I can use the signal questions and the signal words to help me to organize my paragraphs to reflect the cause and effect text structure. And of course, I can participate in my lesson from beginning to end. So now that we know what we should be able to do, be sure to have your notebooks, your pencils, and your brains ready to learn. Are you ready? Let's go. Now, did you know that not all paragraphs are written in the same way? Writers may use different internal text structures in their writing. They also use certain words to make it easier for readers to understand. But here's a big question. What are some of the ways that a writer can structure their writing? Ensure that you continue to pay attention during this lesson to find out. Now, do you remember the big question? What are some of the ways that a writer can construct or organize their writing so that readers understand what they're saying? Well, a writer may use different text structures based on what they're writing about or based on the point that they want to make. The major text structures used by writers are description, problem and solution, cause and effect, compare and contrast, and sequencing. In today's session, we're going to be focusing on cause and effect. Are you ready? Let's go. So we'll be reading some sample paragraphs to understand how the writer structures or organizes their paragraphs to reflect the cause and effect text structure. As usual, we're going to be reading in two ways. Do you remember what those two ways are? That's right, we'll be reading as a reader and then we'll be reading as a writer. Very good, I see that you're remembering and I hope you're putting it into practice. We are reading as a reader and we're reading as a writer. Now remember, in this session, when we read as a reader, we read to make a prediction about what we think the paragraph will be about. And when we read as a writer, we are examining the features or characteristics of the cause and effect text structure using some signal questions and the signal words, of course. So remember, as we read as a reader, we are making our prediction in this case. So let's read together. Now, if you are not sure or if we may be reading too fast, be sure to get your tablet or your smartphone ready to snap a quick picture so that you can follow along. I wouldn't want any one of you to be left behind. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so now we'll be reading as a reader. Remember, in this case, when we are reading as a reader, we're making our prediction to see what the paragraph will be about. Are we ready? Let's go. In Jamaica, more people are eating fast food than ever before. So I'm thinking, based on what this paragraph is saying, that we are going to be talking about the amount of fast food that people are eating? Or could it be talking about the disadvantages of eating fast food? What do you think? It could possibly be talking about the types of fast food or the favorite fast foods that Jamaicans like. That's a good response. Let's see which one of our predictions will be confirmed. Fast foods such as cheeseburgers, chicken nuggets, pizza, and French fries are high in calories and fat. All of this fast food is one reason that over a third of Jamaicans are overweight? Well, we did say in our prediction that the writer may be talking about the different fast foods that Jamaicans like. Even though it lists the different fast foods, I don't think that is what the paragraph is about. We also said the paragraph could be talking about the disadvantages of eating fast food. I think the paragraph is really talking about the disadvantages of eating fast food. How do we know? It says, fast food such as cheeseburgers, chicken nuggets, pizza, and French fries are high in calories and fat. So clearly this is telling me that there's some disadvantage to eating fast food. All of this fast food is one reason that over a third of Jamaicans are overweight. But hold on, I'm noticing something here. It is giving me the effects of eating fast food. Wow. So I now understand that this paragraph is talking about causes and effects. In this case, cause and effects of eating fast food or eating too much fast food. Did you see that? Did you notice that? Now, before we can continue, we probably need to find out what is a cause and what is an effect. Let's see. A cause is why something happened, and an effect is what happened. Sometimes the effect is listed first. So in other words, the effect is the result of what happened. In our paragraph, we saw that the Jamaicans were eating fast foods more than ever, and as a result, they were overweight. So the cause here is Jamaicans are eating fast food more than ever, and the effect is that a third of Jamaicans are overweight. So we've read as a reader, we've made our predictions. Now we're going to read as a writer to examine the features of a cause and effect paragraph. But before we can do that just yet, there are some signal questions and signal words that I want you to bear in mind. You are going to ask yourselves these questions as you are reading. In other words, you're going to interrogate the paragraph. Yes, that's a big word. Interrogate the paragraph. Question the paragraph. And these are the questions that you'll be asking the paragraph. If the paragraph can answer those questions, then it is indeed a cause and effect paragraph. Are you ready for the questions? Be sure to have your notebooks and your pencils ready to write them down. Or, as usual, grab your electronic device and snap a quick picture. Are you ready? Here are the questions. So a cause and effect text structure usually answers these questions. What happened? Why did it happen? And what caused it to happen? So, the questions again, what happened? Why did it happen? And what caused it to happen? But there are also some signal words that could help us to determine if the paragraph is really cause and effect. Of course, they work hand in hand with our signal questions. Be sure to write down your signal words and, of course, take a picture if we're going too fast. So some signal words are so, because, since, therefore, if, then, this led to, reason why, as a result, may be due to, effect of, consequently, and for this reason. Now let us examine this paragraph as a writer. So, the first sentence in the paragraph says, in Jamaica, more people are eating fast food than ever before. Now, which question does this answer? Why did it happen? What caused it to happen? And what happened? Here we see that this sentence is answering the question, why did it happen? Remember that sometimes the effect may be listed before the cause. But in this case, the paragraph starts off by saying, why did it happen? In other words, it is giving you the reason. The second sentence says, fast food such as cheeseburgers, chicken nuggets, pizza, and French fries are high in calories and fat. This sentence is now answering this question. What caused it to happen? And the final sentence reads, all of this fast food is one reason that over a third of Jamaicans are overweight. Now, this is what happened. So we see that the effect here is that persons are getting overweight. And they're overweight because they're eating fast food more than ever. But the fast foods that they're eating are high in calories and fat. We're not done yet. We're seeing that there is a special word that is highlighted in red. That is a cause and effect signal word. Reason. If you can remember, or if you wrote down the words, you'll remember that we listed a number of signal words. I'm sure you would see that reason is one of them. So, remember when you are examining a paragraph as a writer to ask these questions. Why did it happen? What caused it to happen? And what happened? Additionally, you may want to look out for the signal words. Let's give it another try. Remember, we are reading as a reader. And what do we do as we read as a reader? That's right, we make a prediction. In this case, that is just one of the many habits of a good reader. So we're going to be reading this paragraph as a reader to make a prediction. And the paragraph starts. When farmers use fertilizers to fertilize their crops, the leftover fertilizer can run off into nearby ponds, streams, and rivers. So, I know or I see that this paragraph is talking about fertilizers and farming. So I'm thinking that this paragraph will be talking about the use of fertilizers on the farm. What do you think? And you know, I didn't even think about that. It could be talking about the effects or the benefits of fertilizers or the types of fertilizers. But let's continue reading to find out. The result is that the nutrient-rich fertilizer causes way too much algae to grow. All that algae is bad for the plants and animals that live there. Now, in this case, there we're referring to the farm. So what is this paragraph doing now? Is our prediction confirmed? Is this paragraph talking about the effects of using fertilizers? Or is it talking about the benefits or the different types of fertilizers? That's right. It is indeed talking about the effects of fertilizers. But how do we know that it is talking about the effects? Is there a particular word that would have helped you? We see the word causes. Very good. But is there another word that you would have seen? So let us examine the second sentence. We're going to identify the signal words that helped us to come to a conclusion or to confirm our prediction that this paragraph is talking about the cause and effects of using fertilizers on the farm. The second sentence reads, the result is that the nutrient-rich fertilizer causes way too much algae to grow. All that algae is bad for the plants and animals that live there. So there are two signal words that we are seeing. What are those two signal words? We are seeing the signal words result and causes. Well done. So you know what? Usually I'd wait to have a 1-minute party, but because you've been doing so well and you can identify the signal words, we're just going to take a minute to have our You guessed it, 1 minute party. Are you ready? 1 minute party, 1 minute party, 1 minute party, one. Wonderful. Now we're going to be reading as a writer. Remember, when we read as a writer, we're examining the features of the paragraph, the features that the writer uses in their own writing, so that we can use them in our own writing. Are you ready to read as a writer, my writers? Let's go. When farmers use fertilizers to fertilize their crops, the leftover fertilizer can run into nearby ponds, streams, and rivers. Here we see this sentence answering this question. Why did it happen? In other words, it is giving us the cause. And if we can continue, it says the result is that the nutrient-rich fertilizer causes way too much algae to grow. All that algae is bad for the plants and animals that live there. And in this case, there is referring to the farm. Now, students, we noticed that we have one cause here. But we notice that we have what we call a domino effect. So one effect may lead to another effect or several effects taking place. So you may find that a writer may use the cause and effects text structure where they have one effect or one cause but several effects coming out. We also see that the paragraph has a number of signal words. What are the signal words that you would have noticed? That's right. We see the signal words when, result, and causes. Good job. You're doing well so far. I'm so proud of all of you. Now we have to continue. So we're moving to our next phase of the lesson. So far, we now know that a cause and effect text structure answers the following questions. What happened? Why did it happen? And what caused it to happen? But it may not answer the questions in this specific order. They can be answered differently. But we also learned that a writer may use one cause and several effects. So be sure to bear that in mind. You may want to just write it down in your notebooks so that you remember. Because remember, the palest ink is better than the sharpest memory. All right, so let's continue. Now, for your activity, I want you to read the following paragraph as a reader and then as a writer to identify the sentences that answer these signal questions as well as the signal words in the paragraph. What are the signal questions? Here they are. What happened? Why did it happen? And what caused it to happen? Remember that the paragraph may not answer the questions in this specific order. So you have to read with a critical eye. Remember now, you're reading as a reader and reading as a writer. Have a go at it. So the paragraph reads, today, more people are connected to the internet than ever before, not only at home, but also on mobile devices such as smartphones and tablets. Many of these people now get their news from the internet rather than reading newspapers. As a consequence, many newspapers have gone out of business. Give it a try. Now I want you to read this paragraph as a writer, and I want you to answer this question. What is the issue? What happened? Did you say that newspapers have gone out of business? If you did, then you are correct. Give yourselves a round of applause. Clearly, that is the issue. As we can see, as a consequence, that is the issue. But I also want you to answer the question, what caused the newspapers to go out of business? Aha, the fact that many people are now using the internet and the fact that they can get their news on their mobile devices. So they are no longer reading newspapers to find out what is happening in the world. So the cause then is the fact that persons are using the internet on mobile devices. They are more connected than ever before. And as a result, they don't need to read the newspapers to get the news. Good job. I'm so proud of you. Now, boys and girls, it is at that time of the lesson where we check what we have learned so far. Can you say yes to these I can statements? I can explain the characteristics or features of a cause and effect text structure. I can identify the cause and effect text structure based on the signal words and the purpose that the sentence serves or the sentences serve. I can use the signal questions and the signal words to help me to understand the cause and effect text structure. I can use the signal questions and signal words to help me to organize my paragraphs to reflect the cause and effect text structure. And of course, I can participate in my lesson from beginning to end. If you can say yes to all these I can statements, then as you know, we bust out our best dance move for the 1 minute party. Are you ready? Let's go. 1 minute party, 1 minute party, 1 minute party, 1 minute party. Good job. Well, we've come to the end of this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned as much as I did. Join me next time for another fun and exciting language arts lesson. See you soon.